Welcome to English Podcasts with Chris
and Sue.
Hello, Susan.
Hi, Chris.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, I thought today we'd talk about something that a lot of learners really find tricky. They really they get so worried about it. It's the phrasal verbs.
Ah, yes.
What do you think about that?
What, they're being tricky?
Yeah, are they tricky, phrasal verbs?
Well, not for me because I'm a native speaker, but I know that for some people they are very tricky. But I sort of equate this with, you know, the way that French people know automatically what is masculine and what is feminine. It's a bit like that. We know straight away what phrasal verbs are. And
yes.
if you really think about it, if we're able to use a phrasal verb at any point, it makes things easier for us.
Yes.
And we use them a lot.
All the time.
It confuses. So a phrasal verb is a verb, any verb, with any preposition that goes with it.
For example, I often think of the word like come in.
Come out.
Yeah.
Come off it.
Yes.
So we can even have two words with it.
Yeah. For example, even like we say sit down, which is quite easy to understand for the movement, stand up for the movement. But some of the phrasal verbs can be a little bit tricky when the up and the down, the in and the on don't actually mean a movement.
Absolutely.
So that's what I think we should look at today.
Yeah, because there's no real logic to them, is there?
No.
When people try to look for logic, like for example, you could say, this is a standout company. What does that mean? Stand and out?
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, meaning very, very outstanding.
You've just turned stand out to outstanding.
I have just done that. Yeah.
Exceptional company.
Yes, exceptional. Yeah. And I think what we could talk about today is what people use mostly for in phrasal verbs is for meetings. Mm-hmm. So why don't we kick off with a phrasal verb kick off?
Okay.
Tell me, what does it mean, kick off?
Kick off.
Yeah.
Start.
Yeah, to start, that's
like
right.
In a rugby match.
Yes, or in a football match.
Match.
But I think people find this one quite easy, the kick-off meeting.
Yeah, and they use it a lot.
Yeah, they do. Now, another word, phrasal verb in meetings is like to put in place. Mm-hmm. Put is a word we see everywhere. But put in place, can you give me a context on that?
We've put in place a new evaluation system.
Yeah.
Something like this.
Yeah, it's to organise something, to install something, or to set up.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Use a phrasal verb to describe a phrasal.
Absolutely.
I tell you, it's irresistible. As a native speaker, it's irresistible. You cannot help not using them.
No, that's right.
So we're not using phrasal verbs to be difficult. In fact, it makes it easier for us because it says exactly what we want to say.
Yeah.
In a short way.
Yeah, and I think this when learners feel more comfortable with a phrasal verb, it takes their English to another level. And I know people are a little bit unsure of using, a verb and a preposition. How can that be right? Hey, but it is right. Mm-hmm. It is right. And what about...
Well, that said, it's not like... Is it important, do you think, that people... foreign learners use phrasal verbs?
I suppose it depends who their meetings are with.
Yeah, I think it's important that they can understand some of them. I'm not sure it's important that they use them. But, like I say, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it helps people if they can use a phrasal verb. What about if you're in a meeting? Often words which people want to use. If something has been delayed, it might be put back,
or put off, maybe.
Or put off even.
Another day.
Yes. What about if they want to advance a project or advance something?
Bring forward.
Oh, well done. You're very good at phrasal verbs. To bring forward. Absolutely. I think these are the key words that people should, if they can, understand, and then if they can't use. Have you got one for me?
No. But what I was going to ask you is, if it's so important, which a lot of learners seem to think it is, how do they go about learning them?
Well, I think it's context, and context. And unfortunately, if you open a book, any grammar book, vocabulary book, it's lists and lists and lists of verbs. It's disheartening and actually impossible. So I always say, learn 5 that you're going to use. And that's it, really. Don't think as a good student, you've got to learn the whole list. don't go there. Don't go there. Just learn what you need in the context.
Okay.
Any other words of advice on that?
No, I really wouldn't know how to go about if I were to try to learn phrasal verbs, to actually learn them, and if there's any use in learning them.
Yeah, well, I think so. Actually, as you mentioned earlier, if you can understand them. So if you're in a meeting and with international speakers, listen out. What are they saying? And I think when you're learning a word, the first thing is to hear it once, twice, 3 times. Listen out for it,
the only problem
and then use it.
The only problem I can see with that is that sometimes a phrasal verb can have many different meanings for exactly the same one. If we take I'll give you an example. Take off.
Yeah.
Take off can be a plane.
Yes.
Can be take off your shoes.
Sure.
Yeah, you can take off somebody, meaning to mimic them. There is no logic, and it can be quite confusing. I wonder how we learn them. I don't know. But then it's the same, like I say, with French people knowing automatically that, for example, the floor is masculine.
Yeah.
And the door is feminine.
Yes, and I have to say,
every single one of them.
as a French learner, I have to say, yes, that was the most difficult thing for me. I could learn the word, but I instantly forgot, is it le or la? So I tend to go for the plurals, les. that's just a tactic of mine.
Well, this is like just a fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that virtually every word that comes into French from another language comes in as masculine?
Fun fact of the day.
It is.
Yes.
Because if you think of anything, like they talk about le management,
Yes.
they talk about le marketing.
Okay.
Like everything is le.
That's handy.
There you go.
That's handy. I'll remember that.
If you're able to use something that comes from another language, such as English, then you know straight away that it's masculine.
Right, thank you.
Mistake. But
Here
you go.
Anyway, there we go. So getting back to phrasal verbs, maybe we should wind this up. I don't know. So to wind up, in fact, I was speaking to a learner only this morning, wind up, and she said wind. And this is the other problem with, it's the same spelling.
She might have been winding you up.
Maybe. So it's the same spelling, different pronunciation. But let me put this into context for you. So to wind up is to finish,
Or
to bring things to a close.
Or to mock.
That's you.
No, but it is.
It is.
She could be winding you up.
Yeah, I don't think she was though.
No, it
No.
could have been a wind up.
Yeah, it could have been a wind up.
But did you wind up the meeting?
I did as
Did
well.
you wind it up with a wind up?
I'm too kind for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Chris.
Thank you.